Alright, here we go. Video time. Where the hell am I going? Alright, so I have decided to test out my new setup for the GoPro. I have made, I don't know, 20-30 videos, and I can never come up with a topic to talk about. This shit is really hard to come up with something. So I figured, until I can become good at this, or come out with topics, or until you guys can help me come up with some topics, I'm just going to tell stories. Stories of life, whatever. Just something to entertain. So I could do the whole intro thing, 2008 CBR600RR with some modifications. And I will. But right now, I think I'm going to just do a little bit about the bike and jump right into the first story. If this video does well, then maybe that's the kind of stuff I'll do. I also plan on doing some little minor reviews on things that I buy that people might be interested in, you know, thinking about buying it yourself. So, here we go. This is my 2008 CBR600RR. I have put a few mods onto it. Every video I'll add a little bit more onto the bike. The bike is blue and black. I purchased this bike about 2 years ago after getting into a car accident on my FC6R where I got hit by an asshole. Anyway, so first story time. 6 years ago, we were in our fairly new house that we moved into, my wife and my 3 kids. And at this point we decided, let's get a dog. So we went online, we went to these rescue pages, and we saw these 9-week-old rescue dogs. And there was one called Rufus. And damn, I can't remember the other one. So my wife saw these 3 dogs. One was a female, one was, well, 2 were males. And we decided we were going to get whatever the other one, I can't remember the name of, is. Well, that dog was already taken, so we decided to get Rufus. So we go to pick up Rufus. I think we paid maybe $200. We drove 45 minutes to pick up Rufus. That's such a terrible name. I'm sorry if you have a dog named Rufus, but my wife was determined that she was going to name the dog George. She didn't care what dog it was, but his name was going to be George. So we drove 45 minutes to pick up George, aka Rufus. When we met up with the lady, he didn't seem like he was too excited. And I mentioned it to her. I said, he's a puppy. Why is he so calm and so mellow? She said, well, he's been moving a lot, stress. Got to give him some time. I'm like, all right. Pay for the dog. On the way home, we stop at PetSmart to get him some food, bowl, toys, all that. And he's just real mellow, real chill. Put him in the cart with my jacket in the cart, and he lays down and he goes to sleep. And I'd say the PetSmart's probably about 7-8 minutes from my house. So on the way home, now keep in mind, on the way home to PetSmart and on the way from PetSmart to home, he decided to get in my lap and just chill. And he slept. So on the way home from PetSmart, we're maybe 2 miles from the house, he gets out of my lap and gets in my wife's lap. And he pees on her. And then he came right back to me. She's like, oh, that's great. Thanks a lot, George, for peeing on me. Well, we get him home, and I think that's freaking hilarious that he just gets off of me and pees on her. Me and him had like an instant bond. Not because of the pee, just because I felt something. So we get home. He's got an appointment for the vet the next morning. And just like she said, he's doing nothing but laying around. So the next morning, I get up, I take him outside. At this point, he's still not getting up, he's not walking around, he's doing nothing. I take him outside, he goes pee. Took him to the water bowl. I had to physically pick him up and carry him and set him in front of the water bowl, the food bowl. He gets a drink of water and then he just stands there. So I pick him back up, I take him into the living room where I set up a little area for him that night, he just seemed like he was real sick, real weak, didn't want to move at all. He's not even wanting to squat to go pee. Oh, let me back up. The first night that I got him home, I tried to play with him a little bit, and I rolled him on his back to rub his belly, and I noticed, yes, I'm going to sound like an idiot, he had nipples. And I'm like, wait a minute, where's his penis? I don't see his balls. This is a girl. So I called the breeder, and I told him, I got a girl, I didn't get a boy. I didn't pay for a boy, I paid for the girl. Let me change that, back up. I paid for a boy, not a girl, and I got a girl. What is this? And she's like, no, I'm pretty sure that's a boy. And I'm like, no. She said, can you take pictures of the dog? So I'm looking at him, and his penis pops out. Looks like a little pink pork sausage, or a tenderloin. And I'm like, oh, it is a boy. Oh my God, I did not realize, even though men have nipples, I didn't realize that dogs had nipples. So I felt real stupid, and I called her back, and I'm like, yeah, it's a boy. The nipples threw me off. I'm stupid. I didn't figure they had so many nipples, put it that way. So anyway, I brought him home from the vet that day. He was still sick all night. He just looked terrible. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I have a feeling that he's sick or something wrong. He's going to die. Don't know why, but someone just told me that. So I made an emergency appointment with a different vet the next day. Come to find out, George has parvo. Excuse the way I'm talking. I got to figure out something with this helmet because it really squeezes at my cheeks and makes it a little harder to talk. So anyway, I find out he has parvo, and they told me there's a 90% chance that he'll die, but they could keep him. Excuse me. They could keep him overnight, give him fluids, give him medicine, try to treat the symptoms, and he'll have somebody watching him all night for about $5,000. Yeah, I don't have $5,000. So I took him with me. I called the, not breeder, the rescue place, and I told him, this dog has parvo. You guys sold me a dog that has parvo, and it was $250, I'm sorry, not $200. I want my money back, and I want you to take this dog, because it's bullshit. You gave me a dog that's essentially going to die. They said, you know, your dog comes with $2,000 worth of insurance, so you get reimbursed up to $2,000. I'm like, okay, that's all great and everything, but I want a dog that's going to live. And now he has parvo. From what I understand, you can't have another dog in the house with a dog that had parvo for up to 6 months. Lady said, I understand. Just think about it and get back to me and let me know what you want to do, and we can refund you and take the dog back. So I hung up the phone and I looked at him, and he looked at me. We're driving. We're on our way home. He just looked at me like, please save me. Please save me. Oh man, he really looked pitiful. So I said, you know what? I'm going to save this dog. I'm going to figure something out. You're going to live. So I went to a place called Eastern's. It's another vet. And they told me the same thing. They said between $5,000 and $8,000. They're an animal hospital. This other one was Benfield at PetSmart. And I said, I don't have that kind of money. Well, you can go for this card. Well, I don't have the credit for it, and I still don't have the money. Then it gave me a third option. The first option was I could keep him there. 2, I could take him home and most likely he'll die. Or 3, I could do his fluids and his medicine myself, and it would cost about $500. I said, let's do that. So they showed me how to pump fluid into his back, in between his shoulders, in between the skin and his muscle. And I said, okay, I'll do that. So the first thing I did when I got home is I put, this has been 6 years. Anyway, I pumped a lot of fluid where he had this big lump on his back, and it sagged down on one side. And then I gave him his medicine, his antibiotics, to treat his symptoms in his back leg. The next day, he was still moping around. I was, giving it to him every 4 hours, the saline, and I was giving him the antibiotics, I think, every 6 hours. So he's still moping around. He's not doing much. And this is probably about 8 o'clock in the morning. 7 o'clock that night, I was, just hanging out. He was laying on his pillow. I'm in my bedroom. He's out in the living room on his pillow. And I hear a noise. Now keep in mind, every single time I give him his medicine, or every hour, hour and a half, I come out, I get him, I pick him up, I take him outside, he goes pee. He has not pooped once. We've had him for a couple of days. And I take him to his water bowl, he gets a drink of water. So I hear this noise about 7 o'clock at night. George had gotten off of his pillow and was eating his dog food. He just ate a couple of bites. Oh my God, that was like, just to see him eating was so exciting. I was so happy. I was like, my boy's eating. Yes. And again, I had like this instant bond with George. So the next morning, we got him a little fox, a little toy fox. He starts playing with the fox, and that's the moment I knew I saved his life. And we started playing, and I made a couple videos, and he just stops and he looks at me, and he licks me on the face as if he was saying, thank you for saving my life. Thank you for not sending me back. It's been 6 years, and my dog survived Parvo. Now, I did some calling around before I went to Easterns to try to get better prices, and everybody was pretty much the same, $5,000, $6,000. One vet said, just try to get fluids, try to get him to drink. He's probably going to die because Parvo is definitely a killer. I called a vet that was pretty close to where I adopted him from. It was Bel Air Animal Hospital, and they had his brother. I don't remember the name of the brother. Again, that was what we were going to get. And he was doing pretty good. They said it was the same kind of dog, adopted from the same place, so obviously it's the same breed, or litter. I talked to the breeder, I keep saying breeder, I talked to the rescue lady maybe 2 weeks later, and she told me, yes, she found out they had, I believe, 5 dogs. And all of the dogs died except for 2. And that was the one that was at the Bel Air Hospital and mine. So I stuck in there with him. It's been 6 years. And I love this dog. And it's not because he had Parvo and I saved his life. It's because, I don't know, I love him like he's one of my kids. Now right now, I have 4 dogs. We did take a chance. We bleached the hell out of the house. We kept him separated, but I think it was in May or June after we adopted George, which we ended up adopting him in January. So like 4 or 5 months later, we ended up getting a Rottweiler from a breeder. I guess that's why I keep saying breeder. And he then ended up did not get Parvo. So it ended up working. Maybe it was enough time for it to die. Maybe it's all the bleaching we did. We kept him separated in a place that George wasn't while he was a puppy until he had his second set of Parvo shots. So, damn, I just made up my lane. So anyway, that's my story with George. George is a great dog. He's a German Shepherd Mastiff. He weighs around 100 pounds. He stands about up to my waist. I'm 5'9", 5'9 and a half. And he's getting old though, you see it in his face. He's got gray. I love him though. Now, that's the kind of stuff I plan on doing. Tell him my little stories about life. It could be a long story, it could be a short story. Tell him stories about, my mods, my experience with riding, the bikes I used to have. Maybe next time I can tell you the story about how my wife accidentally overdosed me on Benadryl and what happened, because everybody I tell that story to, they think it's funny. It is kind of funny, but it definitely wasn't funny at the time. Alright, well, hopefully I actually post this video, because I've made so many videos and I either didn't like the view, Again, I'm still testing, so I'm not even sure if I'm going to like this view. But leave me some comments and some suggestions on, one, how I can get these cheek pads to stop squeezing my cheeks together. I've already bit the inside of my mouth like 3 times. I know I'm bleeding. 2, it's fumbling my words. And maybe just give me some suggestions on what you want to hear, what you want to talk about, things that are going to entertain you, because I definitely want to get into this. I don't have a lot of money. I have a GoPro Hero 4 Silver. I'm going to try to play with 1080p Super View 60 FPS and 2.7K 30 FPS, because that's all it goes up to. So I'm going to be playing around with a lot of things. If you have any questions about the bike, my GoPro setup, which was such a pain in the ass to try to get the camera centered in the middle, let me know. And anything that I can review of, you know, like maybe a phone, things I buy off of Amazon, just get back to me. And I will talk to you in the next video. See ya.